emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics. Welcome, Brainiacs. I am your host, Dan Merritt, Chief Purchasing Officer at Green Brain Comics. Every week we bring you a curated list of comics and graphic novels that will be going to print next week and arriving as soon as 4 weeks from now. We are here today to share this info and give you one final chance to subscribe and or special order before Sunday, February 11th at 5 p.m. Green Brain Comics and the Final Order Report are powered by Comichub. Check out Comichub online at comichub.com. Mobile apps available for Android and iPhone. Start up an account online or sync up to your existing account. Order and pay securely online and make sure you never miss an issue. I will be using Comichub today to show you items from the last call for confirmed orders carousel. Pardon me while we get into that. Once you sign into Comichub, there it is. Once you sign into Comichub, you see the aside items and shop coming soon. Hit that green banner for shop coming soon. You'll see all the carousels. We got the top carousel here is the current search. You can also search using the top field. Below that is preview pages for some upcoming graphic novels and new comics, some of which we will be looking at today. Below that is the last call carousel. That's what we will be using to show you those upcoming books. And at the bottom is the next Wednesday's items. This is all the new comics that are scheduled to hit the shelves on Wednesday, February 28th here at Green Brain Comics. Okay, once you go into the last call carousel, once you go into the last call carousel, you see the scrolling is turned from left to right, and now it's up and down. We got additional filters for publisher category other on the top there, and alphanumeric filters on the next level, the red buttons. And the first thing that we will be looking at today is the Final Order Report for younger reader graphic novels. We got a whole bunch of cool looking things for kids this week, including Nomads, the Sky Kingdom from Boom Studios and creator Captain Juter. This is a 256-page volume 1 for $12.99. This brings the first 23 episodes of the fan favorite webtoon series that's One Piece meets Hooky to print. Then we get the Oxherd Boy, a very nice hardcover from Clarkson Potter and cartoonist Regina Link. This is interesting. This is a mini-series of Batman, Robin, and Howard. Originally, this material came out as a smaller cut-size original graphic novel a few years ago. This is by Jeffrey Brown, New York Times best-selling author. But DC has decided to try this out as a periodical, so it will come out as 4 single issues with a cover price of $3.99. We get a couple World of Reading volumes. This one spotlighting the Avengers, and then for the Hulk. We get this very nice one-shot from IDW and the My Little Pony franchise by writer Stephanie Cook and artist Andy Price, who did this cover. A cover by Robin Easter, Shauna Grant, and all from IDW, My Little Pony main event. Then we get this cool, smaller cut-size graphic novel collecting the all-ages fun, featuring the wild and crazy kid counterparts of Marvel's greatest heroes, as illustrated by brilliant cartoonist Chris Giarrusso. This is the Mini Marvels Spider-Sense graphic novel, available on April 24th, but you can get your orders in by this Sunday at 5 p.m. Okay, got a couple more things for the younger readers. From Bluey, we get one called Queens. This is volume 3. And volume 4 called Daddy Put Down. And finally, and maybe most excitingly, we get a volume 2 for Gnome and Rat from cartoonist Lauren Stoller. This was a hardcover graphic novel from Random House. And I'm pretty excited because not only is this very cool, but it was also one of our best-selling younger reader graphic novels for 2022. It will be great to have this back on the shelf. I'm very excited for it to hit on March 12th from Random House Graphics. And that wraps up our spotlight on younger reader books. Next up, we will look at the final order report for manga. Oh, oops. That's right. We don't have any manga this week. Well, we only got one manga. Instead, we're going to go into final order report for original graphic novels. Here we go. Here we get the first graphic novel by Rosa Cadena, who adapts Kiko Amet's coming-of-age novel about the wild years of adolescence. Rompapistas is 17 years old. He's a punk. He lives in the outskirts of Barcelona, and he does everything for the music. Generation X, The Clash, The Jam, Las Duelistas. That last one's his own group, where he plays the guitar and bellows into the microphone. This is from Rosa Cadena and artist and publisher Ablaze. Next up, from the New York Review Books, we get Masters of the Nefarious from cartoonist Pierre Lapolice. Two supernatural crime fighters and their Rorschach-blotted best friend stumble into a plot involving UFOs, giant mollusks, and the Maluku Islands in this vivid madcap adventure by a contemporary French artist. Ooh la la. Masters of the Nefarious from New York Review Books. Then we get a volume 2 from the Michael Moorcock Library, Multiverse, this collecting material from Walt Simonson and John Ridgway from Titan Publishing. And our lone manga for this volume I lumped in here. This is from Titan Publishing and cartoonist Yasu Hiramoto, Tengen Hero Wars Volume 1. And that wraps up our spotlight on original graphic novels. Let's look at trade paperbacks. We get a collection of the Sirens of the City miniseries from Joanne Starr and Kari Randolph. Collects the 6 issues from Boom Studios. From 007 for King and Country by writer Philip Kennedy Johnson and Giorgio Spalletta. This collects 6 issues with a Joseph Michael Linsner cover. And another beautiful collection of the EC Archives Weird Fantasy. This featuring reprints of issues 13 through 18 with remastered digital color, and this beautiful cover by Joe Orlando. Dinosaurs are cool. Then we get an Adventures of Superman hardcover, new printing. This collects the the 1980s Superman stories by celebrated writer and artist George Perez are collected in this new hardcover volume, including his material from the New 52 Adventures. The Adventures of Superman by George Perez. This is a big old book for $49.99. Also from DC, we get the Booster Gold Complete 2007 series, collecting the material by Jeff Johns and Dan Jurgens. This is book 1, reprinting 0 through 14, and the 1 millionth issue. That's right, 1 million. And then we get a Sandman Universe Nightmare Country, collecting that recent miniseries by James Tynion IV and Lissandro Estherin. We get a softcover collection of Superman Space Age by Mark Russell and Mike Allred, with colors by Laura Allred. This will come out right around the time that the new miniseries that is coming out for this creative team on the same theme, but focusing on Batman, called Dark Age. Then we get a new printing of the Zatanna by Paul Dini graphic novel, as well as a new printing of, or an oversized edition of, I Am Legion from Humanoids. This collection of TMNT versus Street Fighter from IDW, writer Paul Allor, and art by Ariel Medel. This is a cool one. This collects the first half of the Ms. Marvel by Saladin Ahmed, issues 1 through 18 of the Magnificent Ms. Marvel series. This features art also by Mingchu Young, Joey Vasquez, and Juan Velasco, as well as this cover by Eduard Petrovich. Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy is collected in this trade paperback, issues 1 through 5 by Ron Mars and Ron Lim. Spine-tingling Spider-Man, also from writer Saladin Ahmed. This one featuring truly creepy art by Juan Ferreira, collecting that series, issues 0 through 4, into a single volume. And wrapping up our focus on trade paperbacks, this is a Rick and Morty Heart of Rickness graphic novel from Michael Morrissey and artist Priscilla Tramontano, with this Troy Little cover. That wraps up our spotlight on trade paperbacks. Next up is the final order report for new printings. Ooh, this gets my vote for creepiest cover of the week. This is a new printing of Batman 142, featuring the first chapter of the Joker Year 1 storyline by Chip Zdarsky, with art by Andrea Sorrentino and Giuseppe Camuncoli, who did this cover originally in foil. The second print will be in regular card stock, or regular cover stock, pardon me, for, let's see, 40 pages for $4.99. We get a facsimile edition of Neil Adams, of Detective Comics, featuring the first ever comic book appearance of Talia al Ghul, who was not only a love interest for Batman, also wound up being the mother of his child decades later. From classic creative team Denny O'Neil, Dick Giordano, and Bob Brown on interior art, with a cover by Neil Adams. This is Detective Comics 411 facsimile edition. It also comes in this blank cardstock cover and this foil variant featuring the art of Neil Adams. Get a second printing of Avengers Twilight #2 with a recolored logo here. That recently sold out this week, as well as another sellout this week. Ultimate Black Panther. We were all caught short I think Penguin was caught short as well. This is the second print featuring a recolored cover by R.B. Silva. Get a second printing of Wolverine 42 that sold out last week, continuing the Sabretooth War storyline. And that wraps up our new printing spotlight. Next up, our final report on second issues. All right, we get a second issue for the new miniseries from David Lapham called Under Heist, who also turned in this cover. We get a second issue of Blue Book 1947. Haven't gotten the first issue yet by this classic creative team, James Tynion IV and Michael Avon Oeming. But here we are ordering a second one. Get your orders in by Sunday. Ooh, this one's been a long time coming. Batman 89 Echoes #2 by original Batman screenwriter Sam Hamm, with art by Joe Quinones, who does this cover. Sinister Sons #2 ships on March 12th. Get your orders in by Sunday. Second issue of Alien, Black, White, and Blood. This is the anthology series using the black and red inks only. Features short stories from Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing, Paul Jenkins, and Stephanie Williams in this Alien Black, White, and Blood #2. The second issue of Star Wars Mace Windu with this very cool Matthias Manhanini cover. And a second issue for the Ultimate Black Panther. This is written by Brian Edward Hill with art by Stefano Caselli, who also turned in this cover. This will be available on March 13th, and we're looking for special orders. Let's make sure we don't sell out immediately on this one. If you're interested in this cover, get your orders in. We got this Boss Logic variant, a very nice negative variant by Natasha Bustos. And this, let's see, we get a second issue in a series of one-shots called What If Venom. This one teaming Wolverine and Venom in one character by Jeremy Holt and Tatum Gaidu, yeah. And that's it for second issues. All right. Next up, final order report on first issues. Pretty excited about this. From the co-creator and artist of Eisner-winning series 100 Bullets comes a reimagining of the crime noir Torpedo. In the 1930s, Lucas Torelli, known as Torpedo, was a legend of the suburbs of New York. A tough, trigger-happy Sicilian who only knew how to make friends. Anyone else is no longer here to stay. Nearly 40 years later, the Big Apple has changed quite a bit. Torpedo, not so much. This is featuring art. Featuring art by Eduardo Rizzo, the artist of 100 Bullets, and written by Enrique Sanchez Abuyi. We get this Torpedo 1972 with an Eduardo Rizzo cover on A B cover from Dan Panosian. Very nice. And this Godfather tribute cover from Fritz Cassis, Torpedo 1972. Also has a blank cover. We get our first of a 2-issue miniseries called Bloodshot Unleashed Reloaded from writer Dennis Camp and artist Alejandro Barrenueva, with this cover by Augustin Alessio and a B cover by Al Barrenuevo as well. This is put out by the new publisher of Valiant Alien Books. Keep in mind this is 48 pages for $9.99. Here, after the terrifying conclusion to Bates' Tale, Jace Bosher's final story begins. Or is it Butcher? Let's call Jace Butcher. For the first time in 25 years, the feeble old dragon is welcomed to the butcher shop. And the stark contrast in power between the House of Butcher and the others is clear as day. Through clandestine scheming in the shadows, the House of Slaughter will do whatever it takes to track down the rogue Jace as their target, including aligning with Jace's former house. House of Slaughter comes with this A cover by Nimit Malavia, a B cover by Something is Killing the Children artist Werther Daldera, and a C cover with Spot UV by Antonio Fuso. We get a one-shot from Comics Experience called Marguerite versus the Occupation, written by John Lazar with art by Casey Quevedo, who also did this A cover, and a B cover by Sebastian Perez. Little Girls versus Nazis. Classic trope. Here's more classic tropes. Here's the Goon. The Goon returns to mark the 25th anniversary. Eric Powell returns with an all-new miniseries, Them That Don't Stay Dead. The return to Lonely Street hasn't been easy for the Goon and Frankie. And just as they finally got the various gangs of bloodsuckers and night stalkers back in line, they can finally relax with a nice night out bowling. A new threat appears. With this cover by Eric Powell, as well as interiors and the classic writing skills of Same, we get this B cover by Craig Davison, well known for his depiction of childhood pop culture fantasy, from Star Wars to Marvel superheroes. The Goon returns in an all-new black and white series from Dark Horse Comics and Eric Powell, Them That Don't Stay Dead. From DC, we just get a couple things from DC this week. This starts up a new storyline over at Batman and Robin from ongoing creative team Joshua Williamson and Simone DeMeo. This is the perfect jump-on point for fans interested. And plus, we get the return of Damien's crush from the Lazarus tournament, Flatline. Also comes with this Derek Chew cover on cardstock, and another cardstock variant by Cale New. Here we have the first of a 3-issue miniseries by Roberto Rescioni and artist Werther Daldera. This is called Batman Dylan Dog. Dylan Dog's a action-adventure star from a European graphic album series. It's interesting to see them team up with Batman. And we get to see how the fates of Batman and Dylan Dog intertwine in the past through their lethal nemeses, the Joker, the Clown Prince of Crime, and Professor Zabaris, a mad genius with a taste of bringing the dead back to life. This is a 3-issue miniseries featuring a cover by Gigi Cavagnejo, as well as doing this B cover, Batman Dylan Dog number 1 of 3. Will be available on March 12th. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is 88 pages. 88 pages for $5.99. It's the best deal in comics right there. We get a new storyline over at the Birds of Prey series from Kelly Thompson and Leandro Fernandez. Not only is it a new storyline, it's a whole new mission and a new team. Hold on to your butts. Explore the dawn of the DC with Birds of Prey number 7. Also featuring this Nathan Shirty cover. Very nice. Pablo Villalobos cover and a Souza Mica cover that looks suspiciously like a Dan Panosian cover, but I don't see his autograph anywhere. Classic. Black Canary. Birds of Prey number 7. Then we get a new 4-issue miniseries featuring the Suicide Squad, the story called Dream Team. This is a 4-issue miniseries by writer Nicole Maines and artist Iber Ferreira, along with Eddie Barrows, who turned in this A cover. Get a B cover on cardstock from Riccardo Federici. Another cardstock by Sweeney Boo. And finally, a foil variant of the Ferrera Barrow's cover on Suicide Squad Dream Team. This is in current DC Universe storyline, so it kind of spins out of the events of Titans Beast World. Get a new 3-issue miniseries from Scott Snyder and Francisco Francavilla called White Boat. Some Lovecraftian suspense horror from this classic team, Scott Snyder and Francavilla. Francavilla did this A cover as well as this B cover that, from what I can tell, is kind of a collaboration between Francavilla and Kelly Jones. Very cool. Get a new mini-series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles called The Untold Destiny of the Foot Clan by writer Eric Burnham and artist Mateus Santaluco, who both have quite a bit of experience working on the Turtles. This will be interesting. We got this Santaluco cover. Nicola Shemesha cover. Very nice. Cool samurai robots versus ninjas. And a Dia de los Muertos cover by Jay Gonzo that will be available on March 20th from IDW Comics. We get a new Disney What If variant on the new Spider-Man number 45. I threw this in there. It's kind of a new start of a storyline, but not enough of one to show the whole thing. So I just wanted to show you the cover because this cover is majestic. A tribute to the Avengers number 4 cover featuring the return of Captain America, but this time so much goofier. From artist Vitaly Mangiatorti, the Disney What If variant. Get a last couple things from Marvel Comics here. Get a new Black Widow Hawkeye miniseries. This looks to be in current Marvel continuity from Stephanie Phillips and artist Paolo Vianelli, with a cover by Steven Segovia. Beautiful Adam Hughes cover with dialogue. Look at that on the cover. Wow. A beautiful cover by Art Germ featuring a classic Black Widow costume. And a headshot variant by Mark Brooks. This all dressing up the Black Widow and Hawkeye miniseries from Stephanie Phillips and Paolo Vianelli. Available on shelves on March 13th. Get your orders in by this Sunday at 5 p.m. Ooh, a couple more things from Marvel. Jackpot Black Cat from Celeste Bronfman and Emilio Liso with this Adam Hughes cover. Fantastic. A Elizabeth Torque Black Cat variant. Another Emilio Liso cover. A repurposing of the Hildebrandt Marvel Masterpiece trading card art. And the Joey Vasquez variant. One more? Yes. A couple more. Pardon me. Young Joy Yoon on a Jackpot variant. And finally, the Saturday morning variant by Sean Galloway. This is Jackpot and Black Cat number 1. Here we get the first of a 5-issue weekly shipping Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 from Peter David and Roger Antonio, with covers by Lionel Francis Yu, Greg Land. We get a Symbiote Spider-Man variant featuring Ms. Marvel by Salvador LaRocca. And a Todd Knock headshot variant. This looks almost like the window shade variant, but interesting. And pardon me, that does it for our spotlight on Marvel number 1s. Now as we wrap up the program, I will finish off with this spotlight on a new 4-issue miniseries from Oni Press, adapting the a book from literary icon Barry Gifford, internationally renowned creator of Wild at Heart and co-writer of David Lynch's neo-noir masterpiece Lost Highway. Night People is a pulsating roadmap of the American subconscious, where neon-lit southern nights give way to lipstick, sweat, and blood, and the odd, innocent, and evil are all fellow travelers down an interstate of dark, elusive dreams. Adapted from Gifford's acclaimed novel by breakout writer Chris Condon, who's also joined by this variant cover by Jacob Phillips. I'm very excited about this. It also features a variant cover by Brian Lavelle. This is an adaptation of Barry Gifford's novel Night People from Chris Condon and Oni Press. And that wraps up our spotlight on first issues. Next up, let's hit a couple of events that we got coming up. First up is Brain Candy. That'll be Monday, February 19th at 7 p.m., always the third Monday of the month. Brain Candy features this month poetry from Christina Callery, spoken word from Tim Jones, the music of Jesse Passage, and the visual art of Quadre Curry. This is the 53rd installment of Brain Candy. It always happens on the third Monday of the month. This month, Monday, February 19th at 7 p.m., brought to you free of charge by the Emerging Writers Network and Green Brain Comics. Join us back here on all the socials for Brain Scan. We will be live Tuesday night at 6:30, giving you a preview of all the new comics hitting the new shelf on Wednesday, February 14th for New Comic Day. And of course, I'll be back next week for more final order report. Get your orders in through Comic Hub before this Sunday, the 11th at 5 p.m. And of course, you can use Comic Hub, easy to use website and app for Android and iPhone. Subscribe to series, pre-order variants, special orders for dozens of publishers. Secure online payment, in-store pickup, or shipping available. Never miss an issue with ComicHub.com. So folks, I'd like to thank you very much. There it is. For joining me today on Final Order Report. Let me get down to my scripts here. Stay up to date on all of our happenings. We are Green Brain Comics on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. On X, we are at Green Brain CMX. All the links to our shopping cart, website, and Comic Hub are below in the descriptions. We are spreading the love of comic books and graphic novels from the heart of East Downtown Dearborn since 1985. Feed your brain at Green Brain Comics. Thanks for watching, folks. Get your orders in.